Good Tuesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin another day. 75 already as I look at my paper to make sure I'm right. 98 is the high today, and we will once again climb to 102 on the heat index side. Now, between now and Sunday, expected to be anywhere from 105 to 110. It's almost the dog days of summer in June, isn't it? It's hot. Not getting any better. I'll make sure to check on the elderly and pets, make sure everybody's got plenty of water. And also, don't forget about those your cattle, pets that stay outside. It's just miserably hot. We got to make it through all of this one way or the other. Well, I do hope your morning is going well. Yesterday, one of the quietest days that we've had in quite a while. Everything was kind of like that, which is good. We need more days like that without issues. Overnight, we'll get into this in just a moment. We did have some gunshots. Nobody was hurt. We'll tell you where it was, so you'll know all of this. I was looking, and I guess practical jokes. We'll talk more about this coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. How far do you carry a practical joke? Even to the grave? Ohio, a man wrote out his own tombstone. And I won't read what it said, but each line had something on it. And as you get to the bottom and you glance back at it, he had spelled out the first letter of every word on the tombstone. Well, it ended up being a cuss word if you read it up and down like this. And he said he was a practical jokester, and the rest of the town doesn't find it as funny as he did. Just don't think it's a good idea to do that. But that's what happened in Ohio as we look at some of the headlines going across America this morning. Also, we're getting nearer and nearer to the election. Don't forget, we've got a special runoff on the 28th. And coming up on Thursday morning, Michael Cassidy will join us. He'll be here to answer any questions that you've got. You'll be able to drop them here. He'll be here at 8 a.m. If you'll remember, he led over Guest in the last election. One of them has to get the majority, over 50%. Which one will it be? Well, he'll be here to answer your questions. We'll have some for him, and you're more than welcome to throw anything that you want up beginning at 8. As always, we're trying to be fair on everything. We'll try to get in touch with Michael Guest as well if he'd like to be a guest on the show as well. Not sure he will, but if you know him, the door is open. We'd love to have him as a guest as well and get his thoughts of what's going on. We'll find out more about that. Of course, Cassidy, a Navy pilot, or was. We'll find out all of that about him. That's coming up on Thursday. I hope you'll join us on Thursday for all of that. Let's see here. As we begin today, let's talk about a few things that went on overnight. Now, I am told that someone was injured, nothing bad at all, where they accidentally grazed themselves with a bullet, the gun, handled it wrong, and it went off. They're okay. That's good news. As we look at some of the headlines, I always double check here. I get things that come in early. Let's see here. We did have shots reported in the city limits of Meridian. Several shots last night. Let's go here and take a look at our first area where shots were reported. As we pull this up this morning, 23rd Avenue and 48th Avenue in this area here. Here's Royal Road. We see a lot of activity either here, down in this area, or during this area here on State Boulevard. No one was hurt by that, but that did happen last night. As we go to the second place that we had reports of gunshots, this will be just north of Highland Park. Let's go back here and pull this up where you can see this. This area here, 23rd and 43rd, 23rd Street, 43rd Avenue. Here's Highland Park. It would be just north of there. And look, just north of Royal Road. A lot of activity right in there. We've seen it. I guess you could put a circle about right in there. A lot of gunshots always occurring in those areas. And again, with all of these places, there's no one hurt whatsoever. The next place that we had gunshots reported, as we go back to take a look at this, we had gunshots reported 18th Street and 14th Avenue. As you see this, well, I don't see anything I recognize. Let's back out where you can see this a little bit easier. Here's Highway 39. This would be west. Here's Dairy Queen back in here. It would be kind of southwest of Dairy Queen and northeast of Anderson's Hospital through the woods, so to speak, through the byways in the back in that area there, east of 24th and between there and Highway 39. Those. And again, all of these, no one was hurt with any of this that went on last night. I did get a report, no one injured again, up near MERIDIAN last night. We had some shots reported in that area near Panola Drive and Confederate Drive, right in that area right there. This would be just off of Dale Drive up Confederate. No one was hurt there either. All this is good news. As I said, we had the one person that got a little injured there where they created that themselves. We also had a report, and thank goodness this turned out good, out in the Clarkdale community, a house fire. I got a text about that. It ended up being okay. Had some smoke, but the house was not majorly damaged. That's good news. Someone saved their home, and they'll get to clean up everything, and it'll be all right. That's good news. How many times, as we start looking around at this around, that we go to the beach, we go to Mobile. This was the Mobile Fire and Rescue. They posted this on their page yesterday, late yesterday afternoon, and I shared it. As we pull this up, this is the tunnel. I think we all know where that is. As you click on these pictures, there was a wreck inside the tunnel. Traffic was backed up for hours as we look at this. Car caught on fire. I got some actual pictures from people that were sitting in traffic waiting on this to go away, and it did. It held up traffic for quite some time. All worked out there. Now, also, as I mentioned in the headlines, what we were discussing that went on yesterday in Meridian, we had an accident on North Hill Street yesterday also. Now, again, no one was seriously hurt, but let's pull this up. We can see this. It did slow down traffic just a little bit there. Let's pull this up where you can see this. Again, this was North Hill Street. This would be after you go past North Crest and those areas there. North Hill Street, getting close to 55 Place down here to where the split is. Real close to that. As we look at this, we had a Mustang. They got a little injured there. Might have hit a fire hydrant there, or got close to it. But again, no one was seriously hurt with that, and that's good news. We like to see if something bad happens that it's not as bad as it could be, so to speak. So that worked out well. Now, I was not aware of this until just a little bit ago. We're going to have a memorial service coming up in Lauderdale County. It's going to be at the courthouse. They'll have a special gathering in the training department of the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Training Room, and then there will be a memorial service beginning at 10 on Wednesday. And as we pull this up, I was not aware, as I said, that this had even happened. But Rex, the canine, has passed away, and we shared this from the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. I don't know much other than that. We'll speak to Ward and we'll find out more. Maybe Billy Sally can fill us in on what went on there. Could have died of natural causes. But that memorial service will be tomorrow morning beginning at 10 there at the lawn at the courthouse. Now, I got word of this a day or so ago, and I have not confirmed this with the Meridian Police Department, and I need to, after I'm seeing the headlines of what's going on around the state, it makes sense of what I was told, that scams are starting to do this, to where you buy something on Facebook and you're paid with a check, or they drop it in your bank account and then it disappears later. Now, I don't know the details of how all that works yet. I hadn't dug deeper into this, but they have busted multi-state scamming operation where they were buying cars, and it would be deposited into your PayPal and the money disappears. It would show that it was good, and then PayPal or whatever account, or your banking account. I'm told that it may have happened in a $4,000 issue here in the Lauderdale County area. Always good on stuff like that. Cashier's check, or what's that old saying? Oh, good old hard, cold cash when you sell an automobile. Well, I'll dig deeper into that to find out about that. But they have made an arrest that spans several states that were doing this. They've been a 6-long month investigation. California was even involved in it. But scammers, they stay up late at night trying to figure out how they can get you. As we go to Tupelo, Mississippi, as we look around at some of the state headline stories this morning, it's always sad when we see this. And again, this has happened in our area. But it's so sad when you see it happen. Someone was riding their bike and was hit. The person drove off. They did later turn themselves in. The person on the bicycle did die. They did label it as a hit and run. The man has been identified as Bruce Martin Franklin. who passed away this past Friday there in Tupelo with that. Condolences to his family. So sad to see something like that happen. The person has a $100,000 bond. Maybe you heard about this. When you're injured, the last thing you want to think about is, well, someone being a sexual predator when you're sick and you can't move. A Mississippi man has been sentenced. He was a paramedic, and, well, he's been sentenced to 40 years in jail for sexually assaulting people in ambulances, from young children on up. He's 57 now, so he'll be really old. They're saying he won't have a chance of parole until he's in his 90s. That's just bad, isn't it? It is, without a doubt. As we look around for more state news, let's see here. We brought this up a week or so ago, the gentleman from Hinds County that is missing from the Alzheimer's and dementia. He is still missing. Family is looking for him. It was in the Raymond area. We'll share that picture again. He hadn't been found yet. So many times this happens, and as we all know, we still have not found the lady from Kemper County that went missing. How long ago has that been now? No signs, no nothing. Just disappeared. We hope he is found soon. We certainly do. As we talk about Vicksburg, and not only is Meridian seeing these things to where it's an uptick, I see it in West Point, I see it in Tupelo, of juveniles, the crime, and they seem to be braver and braver. Well, Vicksburg took one step, and if they were not with a parent at the mall, they were fined, I think it's $672 per child. That'll add up quick. Now the city of Vicksburg is going, we're fixing to expand this past the mall. If your kids are out past 11 o'clock, you're going to get hit with a fine. Now, can everybody pay that? Probably not. But it's a step in the right direction to try to curb crime, to keep the streets off of it. And if you really were to dissect all of this, you would probably be shocked as to how many crimes are committed by those that are young. We'll see. As we spoke to the mayor at his press conference that he had a few weeks back, it could be right at a month now. Time kind of runs together. He said that Meridian did have a curfew. Very hard to implement. He said we should start seeing that. We'll see if we can get some more answers on that. Let's see other headlines that are going on across the state. A man has been sentenced to life in prison in Jackson, Mississippi. The crime in Jackson just continues to climb. Did I say that right? Climb? It does. This gentleman was found on June 20th in a trash can, his body. They have found somebody that was guilty of that. Awful, awful. And I mentioned each year we have new laws that go into effect in July. And here's some of the ones that I've looked on this. I remember them pushing, and I never quite heard. It kind of faded away. Everybody remember that about the state tax going away? Almost 2 years. In September, LaWanda says. Oof. House Bill 531 with the tax cuts just kind of went away, and you didn't hear much about it. Well, Mississippi did not get rid of the state income tax. How this will work, it will work out to where it will be gradually reduced to a 4% flat tax on income over $5,000. Starting July 1, taxes on the amount will drop to 5% to 4.7%. In 2025, it will drop again to 4.4%, and then in 2026 will drop to the flat 4%. Didn't get what they wanted. And that's where we are, a little bit cheaper. Medical marijuana is going into effect beginning July 1, so we expect that. There's been a lot of people signed up for that already. Parker's Law is going to be going into effect in July. And you go, well, what is this? It's a law that helps the deaths of fentanyl, the big spike we've had in Mississippi. And it's named after someone, Parker Rodenbow, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that. He was a student at Madison Central High School that died of this, and they're going to make this to where more laws are imposed for harsher penalties of drug dealers that sell this, of fentanyl. That's good. We hate that ever happened. Mississippi has banned the critical race theory. It can't be taught in our schools. That goes into effect July 1 as we look at laws. Also, COVID. They put a ban on this. House Bill 1509 will prohibit any government entity, including public colleges and universities, from requiring vaccination against COVID. That's in the state of Mississippi. Pretty strong there as we look at that. So if you encounter something like that, pass that along to law enforcement agencies so they can do that. We've even had a change to the method of the death penalty in the state of Mississippi. Y'all aware of this? Now, still, of course, the number one choice is lethal injection, to where they put the drip in your arm and you basically fade away slowly. But they are giving other alternatives, which include, you can take your pick if you're up for this, if you're on death row. Electrocution and also a firing squad can be requested if you're on death row. So 3 ways to go from the state of Mississippi now. And again, I see it most likely still staying to lethal injection. Pretty harmless, no pain for the person that they're doing it to. We got a new state song. It's over. The other one is gone. Go Mississippi is out the door. They've adopted one by Steve Azar. Do you remember the guy that sang, I Don't Have to Be Me Till Monday? He's got a podcast in the state, and he still continues to perform, and he's written a song called One Mississippi. I haven't heard it, but it's the new state song. Maybe it would have been too expensive for everybody to vote on that. Lawmakers did it. Still think Charlie Pride, Roll On Mississippi, would have been a great song for that. I'm not knocking Steve Azar. I just hadn't heard it. Just don't think it's been around that long. And, well, Charlie Pride, big advocate for the state of Mississippi. He's done so much for us, a legend. Just my 2 cents on that. Let's see. Other laws will take place starting July 1st, and I'll dig into that to see if we got anything on this. Okay, no difference in anything that big time that jumps out at me there. But we'll dig into that and see what else we've got. There's always some type of law that you don't know about that goes into effect, that you're breaking the law and you just don't know about it. As we look across to Alabama and the Huntsville area this morning, so sad this is, a 3-year-old has drowned. It's behind a home in a pond. Lord be with them. We hate that. Kroger getting backlash. Have y'all heard about this on a national scale? They've got, in most places, have these things to where they're T-shirts and posters. And someone complained, and it had a gun on it. And they complained to Kroger, and Kroger's going to pull it out. It's nothing big. Let me see if I can pull this up where you can see this from Twitter of what it actually looked like. This is what the picture looked like. This was being sold in Kroger's. This is what it looked like. They're banning that. And that's a Huggy is what that is. And actually, I thought it was a T-shirt. It's a Huggy. But they caved into the woke America not wanting them to sell those things. Stephen Colbert, if you'll remember him, he's the guy that's got that overnight show, a talk show, and his staff was arrested. He made light of it for the first time and talked about it, said there was nothing to it. But there's more to it than that. They can still be charged. We'll see what happens with this. Elon Musk's son, the rich guy that is taking over Twitter, is in the form of buying that. His son, 18, has filed a petition to change his gender to a woman. It says he no longer wants to be associated with his father. As early as today, we'll watch this. There's no 100% chance that it could happen today, but there is a chance the decision could be made on Roe versus Wade with the Supreme Court. We'll watch this should this happen. We'll let you know as quickly as the news comes out. But that's possibility of today, that news coming out with that. Let's see, other things that are going on around it. And remember, the media, the big three, as you look at this across America, from CNN and all of them, they try to push their narratives of what they want you to believe, and a lot of them want you to think it's over for Trump. That's why they keep pushing that January 6th thing of making it look bad, trying to put it in your mind. And they're trying to say that it's over for Trump now as we start to see headlines come out of this, that donors that we're giving to, and it's not a bad choice by any means, that we're donating to Trump are now switching over to DeSantis. Trump says he could beat him if it come down to a race. We'll see. No word yet on either one of them if they're going to be running. I think we all are pretty sure that Trump will be running no matter what. The man can't handle a loss, and we know that. He's not one to take it easily. Waiting till after the midterms to announce both of them are. But there could be a serious runoff there between those two. Who would you choose? It's not likely at this point that they'll join forces. Even Mike Pence is saying that he's not going to rule out running. I think we all know before he even throws his name in the hat that won't happen. A great guy, great Christian guy. But I just don't think he has the strength to pull ahead and be the nomination. We'll watch. All that's coming up. All right, we're going to move to weather next. How's it going to be? Y'all stay close. We'll find out more about this as we begin this early Tuesday morning.
Rockhouse Gun & Pawn is having a 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. Absolutely no sales tax on used firearms. 25% off all gun cleaning and gun care accessories. And a free box of ammo with every purchase of a new Glock pistol. 50% off all pawn electronics. 50% off on pawn tools. 25% off on all jewelry. Huge markdowns throughout the store. It's the Rockhouse 10-year anniversary celebration blowout. 5430 Highway 19 North.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
And welcome back. 8 minutes before the top of the hour as this morning is flying by. Robin Sullivan joining us from the big city of Philadelphia. How are you today? Glad to see you. Nancy Johnson is up. Christy Kerr, also Roy Ellis. Clarence Westbrook, how are you today? LaWanda is stirring a little bit there also. Maria Espino, did I pronounce that right? Glad to see you as well. Tina Scripture, how are you? Also, James Sullivan, and along with a few other folks watching. As we turn to look at the weather, let's go ahead and take a look at Meridian Honda radar this morning as we look at this. All clear across the deep south. Absolutely nothing going on. East of Chattanooga, we're showing a little bit of fog there in eastern Tennessee. You go up through Charleston, West Virginia, a little bit of fog this morning. Even over at Cincinnati, hard to see as you go through that big city. And as always, we got some showers up here in the east as we come across the top of the state. New Mexico has some showers today, nothing serious. We've had some storms roll through here in North Dakota and those areas. Foggy out in the northwest there as we go over to Washington State and down through California. All looks good. A few showers there through Mexico. That's the biggest thing. Houston also getting a little bit there of fog in those areas. And God bless you if you're having to go through that traffic in Houston this morning. It gets me the hibby-jibbies, if I can use that word, every time I think of driving through that town. Lord willing, I won't ever have to do that again. Let's hope not. It's tough out there. They mean serious business when it comes to traffic. All right, let's get deeper into the forecast this morning and find out what it's going to do for you today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we turn to it, here we go. Our record high was set in 1964. 101 on this date. Our record low was set back in 76. It was 56 degrees on this date. That was a chilly day for us, wasn't it? As we look at this, and of course there's a boo-boo, a misspelled word there. It's supposed to say sunny. Well, it's close to it. 98 today for the high across the Meridian area on up through Philadelphia. We've got hot temperatures all the way up to Columbus, staying steady. Down to Laurel, 97 as we go out west. Cooler in Vicksburg by 2 degrees and down to Brookhaven, about 95 and 96 in that Natchez area there as you head toward the coast of Mississippi. As we go across to Alabama, pretty much the same as Mississippi, anywhere from 97, a couple of 96 areas there, up to 98 degrees throughout the great state of Alabama, sunny and hot. As we look at this, how long will all this stuff last? Now, this is the heat stress for today and tomorrow. Again, those times 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. Try to stay out of it. Do it early or late if you've got to do things outdoors. We're expecting that heat index to be around 105. Make sure to drink plenty of fluids. This stuff is bad. If you got to do weed eating, make sure to do that late. If you work out in this every day, make sure you're hydrated. As we look at the risk through Sunday, look at this. It gets worse. It goes up as temperatures do. We're going to hit the lower 100s, around 101, 102 several days. This will put the heat index somewhere around 110. And again, those times still range from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I cannot stress enough about that between now and the weekend of making sure that you're all right. Will this end as we look at the forecast 6 to 10 days out? Nope, it's still there. And as we look back to our west, we'll have a day where it might be a little bit normal, but right behind it, another heat wave on the way over the next 6 to 10 days. That's a lot of that. Now, as we look at our forecast today, the 7-day forecast, look at that, 100, 100. Do I expect it to top over that and this be changed? I sure do. Today we're looking at 96, by tomorrow 98. Now the National Weather Service calling for 98 today. Mine we're saying about 96. Either way, it's going to be hot. Thursday, 100, 99. Look at this. It just stays with us. By Monday, we start seeing a 94 degree there with a chance of rain there. That's the reason that it dips just a little bit. Let's go another week out and go all the way to July 5th. And we'll see upper 90s, 95, 96 as rain chances increase through this area there. So far, on the 4th, we got chances of showers there. Let's hope it doesn't mess up the fireworks shows. Watch it closely. What's the fishing calendar hold for today? Well, we'll get to that in a second, won't we? First, we've got nothing going on the national hurricane scene. All is clear across the Gulf, and that's good news. But fishing, as we go to Chet's Paint and Body this morning, best time to fish today is this morning, 7:30 to 9:30. That'll be your first one there. Now, late, right at dark, as it gets cooler, around 8 o'clock tonight till 10 o'clock is good fishing as that sun goes down. Wind's going to be calm, east around 5 miles an hour. Can't beat any of that when it comes to the wind and fishing. Hope you can enjoy yourself there. Christy says she needs a little rain to cut the grass yesterday. It's dry. Yeah, it's just becoming a dust bowl. Wasn't it last year that we had too much rain this time? Christy Belk said that her husband saw at one time a heat index 119. That's hot. You go out west, and it's nothing for that. Texas, those towns like that. Well, that's going to wrap up what we're doing right now. We're coming up at the top of the hour. Candace will be in just a little bit. Tell us more about it. We'll be having a great show coming your way. MCC is going to drop by this morning to tell us about an event that they've got coming up out at the college. Hope you'll join us. All this kicks off at 8 a.m. live. Don't forget, we'll be changing in roughly 2 weeks networks on television. We're moving from MeTV to Fox 30 in Meridian. Be a little bit easier to see. Can reach more homes that way as satellites and other things are brought in. That's good news. Look forward to it. Thank you all for coming by this morning. We'll see you in about an hour from now as we'll go into a full-fledged morning show with you. We'll see you soon at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: